Hello and welcome back to the Gadget Man 369 channel. Today we're going to make and install the lock pins. Also, we are going to make the engine tube center stop ring. Going to install that too. Should be a fairly easy day if everything goes okay. You know how that goes. Quick videos ending up taking lots of time to do. We'll see. Something new you saw last time. I got this ruler, 50-cent ruler from Staples, and I did in fact glue on my 100 grit sandpaper on there, and that does two things. You can sharpen your pencil and other things on that, and this keeps it from sliding around when you're trying to put straight lines on the paper. If you don't have that on there, it starts moving around. It makes it difficult to draw your lines. Put that over here. Yeah, alright, I don't even know what to talk about. Let's see. Last week we made this thing. Okay, let's see how that is. That's a little bit tight. We'll take care of that at the end of the day. Anyway, we had that D engine and made this adapter. And that should go right in there. It's pretty loose. And it's kind of tight right there. And I turned it over. And it's tight right there. And I think that happened when this rocket motor is being used. And it actually, the heat swelled it up. So what we're going to do later is to open this up a little bit. So this should just drop down in there like that. It almost slides in by itself. That's where we really should get it. Anyway, that's enough of that. I don't know what else to talk about. I already had my coffee, set all this junk up, and we're ready to go. So without further ado, let's hit it. Alright then, let's get a couple of things ready to go. Let's see, I'm going to set that over here. Got our gluer, and we're going to get a sheet of paper. See, good, you've got to make sure it's long enough this way. The grain of the paper is going this way, so that makes rolling this thing this way really easy. So we're going to make our parts based off of that. Okay, the first part we are going to make is this. Let's see, there we go. You can zoom in on that if you want. Let's see, what's it say at the top? It's an inch wide. Yeah, it's a dang phone. I'm going to turn that thing off. Okay, so it's 8 inches by an inch wide. And notice which way I have on the drawing the grain of the paper, because it's going to be rolled up this way. So what we need to do, we're going to go this way. That's the way it's going to be on there. So 8 inches by 1 inch. Okay, let's see. Got this new ruler, might as well use it. I'm pretty sure we're going to have 8 inches across there. Okay, let's see. Make sure it's accurate. Boy, I like the sandpaper on there. Doesn't move. I'm going to put this up here. You want these lines farther apart. Sure makes it easier to do this part. If you got them too close together, you're not going to be that accurate. Do the usual testing. Okay, just like that. Now let's get that 1 inch width down there. Okay. Just getting warmed up to be accurate. We need a long enough pin because we're going to be cutting small sections off of it. Want it to be long enough so it's easy to handle. Okay. Pay attention to that angle on the pencil and maintaining the same width across it. Alright, now we're going to get out our handy X-Acto knife. Okay, and then cut it out. Just as a good warming up. Just be accurate like usual. You know what the routine is. Gonna cut right down the center. of that pencil line. Getting there. Come on. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and cut that off of there. Make it easier for the next piece. Alright, this is what we got going now. Alright, so here's what we're going to do. Let me put that back on there. Don't want to impale myself if I lay my hand down on something. I'm going to get this started. Just take a pencil, one of those dowels, anything you got. Pencil was more handy for me. Okay, take that off. And just start rolling it. You'll get the feel of this. This might take longer to do than the whole rest of the build. Okay, what I want to do is completely roll that until that hole in the middle is completely gone. Okay, I'm rolling this in such a way where it's closing in on itself. Okay. Okay, let's see. Just enjoy the music while I'm doing this. Okay, see, it's getting smaller and smaller. Could even do it this way. Put my fingers there to keep it square and then just start rolling it tighter. You need to try and get that where that hole is completely gone. Okay, and at 8 inches we should end up with this piece. Boy, sometimes it's got a mind of its own. This piece is going to end up about 1/4 of an inch thick. Okay, it's being stubborn right now. Come on. Could undo that and get it tighter. Okay, that's a good start. I'm gonna lick my finger. Yeah, see, there's a problem right there. It was crumpling up. I don't know if you could tell what I'm doing here, but I'm making this really thin. Get that nice and tight. Okay, see, there's no hole in that. That's a good start on that. Okay, so alright, just keep rolling that up tight as you can keep it. Okay. Okay. There we go. As you can see, that hole in the middle is completely gone. It can go like this. That's why we make this 1 inch wide. You could even make it a little longer. I did that so it'd be easier to handle when we go to cut this thing. Okay, and there's the piece. So, look at that. Perfectly 1/4 of an inch. Okay, now what we're going to do, this is going to be a little tricky. Don't let it unravel, or you know, like a spring or something. Gonna unravel some of this. Okay. You don't have to go all the way back, but just most of the way back. Okay, so this is what we got. Get our glue. Just to let you know, you don't need to spread this because as you're rolling it up, it's gonna like automatically spread it. Now don't let that thing come loose. Okay, gotta keep it tight. Okay, look what it did. Stupid thing, okay. Like I said, this is the tricky part. So you could flip this thing off as you're going to keep it from acting up. Okay. Oh boy, okay. Now, just do whatever you have to do. I'm going to roll that back up again. And making sure that's tight. Make sure it's tight. Okay? Now, I'm going to unroll that and keep gluing. could take your time. Okay, you could tell where the glue is sticking there. Boy, a lot of glue got squished up there. Okay, just like that. Okay, that should be enough glue to press right out of the end. Okay, let's see. Like that. Like that. Want to keep it down all the way. Plenty of glue on there, you'd be surprised. Okay, let's see. It's trying to come apart on me. We're not making a clock spring, so don't need that. Oh, that was good. Okay, let's see. Yeah, it could be stubborn. Now I'm going to go ahead and try and roll that tighter. Roll it. Okay, don't worry about it being imperfect on both sides. Double check that. It's a little fatter than 1/4 of an inch, which is okay. Now, if you do this while the glue is still wet, tighten that up. This thing will, when it dries, it'll dry hard as a rock. Uh-oh, there's a little hole in their middle. I don't know how that happened. Might have to sand a little bit of that. Okay. Okay. Huh. All right. We're going to let that dry a little bit and go ahead and cut the next piece out. Set that aside. Okay, what do we got here? There's the next piece. While that other thing is drying, we're going to make the engine tube center stop ring. Okay, it's 1 1/4 wide, 8 3/4 long. Notice the grain of the paper. It's made that way so we could roll it up better. All right. And then you have these folds, the score lines where we're going to be folding. Those are 1/4 of an inch wide each. You can pause that and print it out or do whatever you want. Okay, let's see. Okay, we have this way. It's got to go this way. All right. Maybe sharpen that pencil a little bit there. Okay. I don't like that. That's not very straight. So, it's okay to eyeball that, but you gotta make both sides the same. Okay, this cut, when we cut these, we're gonna have to be more accurate. What did I say? 1 1/4. Yeah, 1 1/4 inch wide. Like that. Okay, like that. Might as well mark these too while we're here. Make things a little quicker. Okay, come up here. Do the same thing. There we are. Should it be there we are or there we go? I know it's not there we gar. Okay, like that. You know the usual routine about this. Stick the pencil right on that line. Make that part vertical, although it doesn't look like it to you. Okay, push the pencil up against there. Against there, we got it. Okay, how wide is that thing now? It's 8 3/4. Boy, having that sandpaper on the bottom really does the trick. Okay, 8 3/4. Wow, we got just enough. Okay, go beyond it for the sake of accuracy. This piece needs to be accurate as you can get it so it'll fit on there correctly. Of course, you know how that goes. We do the best we can. It still don't fit exactly right, but we'll get it close as we can. There. Let's see. Like that. And there's our piece. Okay. And we get our X-Acto knife out. Oh God, where is that coming from? Alright, whoops, gosh darn it. Okay, should have my magnifier goggles today. Okay, down the center of that line. Okay. You can go slower on yours. I'm just going no faster than I can do it right. Now, before I cut that out, did I have that cut? Yes, I did. Okay. I'm going to score that. Okay, so. Already got the marks there. How about that? Save more time. Okay, turn this upside down. Okay, angle that in such a way. Okay, don't press too hard, just scoring it. If you press too hard, it'll cut it. Okay, like that. You could tell if it's damaging it or just scoring it. Or if you're cutting through, that'd be kind of obvious, and you don't want to do that. Otherwise, you got to start all over again. Let's see. Okay, very good. All right. Hope you guys are enjoying watching these videos, and what I'd like to do, hear from you in the comments section about your build. If you're following along and if you're having any problems. Okay, the reason why I don't use the ruler cutting that out, because it might be left or right of that line, and I want to keep it going right down the center of that line. Put your finger there, that way it won't slip. Okay, I'm pushing down hard enough just to be cutting in that mat that's underneath. I really like that cutting mat, man. The blades last forever. You're cutting down into the rubber, so there you know that you're cutting the piece out. There we go. All right, Jaeger. Put that back on. Ooh, put that back away. Now we can accordion fold. You already know how to do this kind of stuff. Okay, along those scores. Okay, accordion fold. Get it down really good. Boy, this will be a good time to have the burnisher. I'll just do that with a pencil. Uh-oh, see, when askewed. Rework. I hate rework. Get it down where it's supposed to go. Okay, the pencil don't work so good. Okay, let's try the edge of this. Okay, and just do a little bit at a time, like that. Like that. It's not going to come out absolutely perfectly level or edge to edge, because we'll file that ring to make it a little bit more accurate. Just work your way down like that. Yeah, see those little wrinkles there. Start seeing that, you know the paper is getting tweaked. And if you can, you don't want to tweak it. Okay, now we got this. Get this glue out. You've seen this before, just for an accordion fold. And you know in that little narrow area in there, the glue will be pushed out everywhere where you need it. All right, like this. If you're getting glue and it's pushing out the edge, like that, you might want to put a paper down underneath that, so you won't get glue on your, like you see on mine. Won't get glue all over your cutting board or mat or whatever it's called. Okay, miss a spot there. Don't want to miss a spot. Fold it over. Always start from the center. It just works better. Help avoid warping. And try not to stretch this out while you're doing that, you know. Press down more than you're stretching out, because if that goes out too long, then it won't fit. Let's see, come on, get out of there. Make sure you got glue all the way down there. I'm gonna be a little bit short on the end there, so when I spread it, it won't get all over the mat. Yeah, pressing down as you go. Well, if we install this thing and this strip is too long, that means it was being stretched during this process. No big deal, we could trim it, but if you actually make this perfect, you won't have any rework to do. See, that's warped a little bit. That's normal, don't worry about that. We'll straighten that out. Okay. Okay, boy, it gets harder to handle. Come on. When you don't have any room to work. Okay, like that. Center out. Okay, now you can straighten that out. See that line across that board? You kind of press it down straight along that line. That'll straighten her back out. Okay, you can do that on the last fold because the glue is still not completely dry in there. Okay, just like that. Good. Okay, now we got some crud on that end. Just trim that off. The scissors. Like that. Is there anything on this side? Yeah, just a little bit. You saw what happened last time. So you just take care of this now. There we go. Nice and square. Now, which way do I want out? Yeah, what the hell, just pick a side. You can kind of go like that to get this bend started. Okay. Before the glue dries on your glue bottle, put the lid back on. Okay. Now, it's got to fit on there. We're not going to glue it on right now, so. You know what? I'm going to take this. Here's a trick. Okay. If this kind of crumples or a little bit when you're doing this, you might want to use a dowel or something to roll this on. But what this does is it gets it started, and the glue is still wet in the paper, making doing this really good, real easy. Okay, just like that. Okay, then you can set that puppy aside. That's going to be glued around the edge of that. Now hopefully when we glue that on there, it's going to be the right size, so eventually we might have to take a little material off, but we'll see how that works out. Hopefully we don't have to add any material. There, look at that. Looks like a curly Q. Yeah. Looks like a clock spring, doesn't it? Look at it unwind. It's alive. Okay. Here's what we're going to do next. We got this pin. Okay. It's getting a little harder than it was. Now you just take some sandpaper. Say you just rotate it as you're sanding a little bit, and that keeps it square. Sand it down to where it's totally flat there and there's no material. I'm going to leave that alone. You don't have to waste your time, so I'm going to cut off of this end, I think. You know what? You see that? It's kind of going like this a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and take off more material to get it past where it curls, because I don't like that. Blow on it. Blow the dust all over everywhere. That's okay, you can vacuum it later. Now we got a good flat square edge on that. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. Let's see how long those pins are. I gotta find the drawing now with the pin on it. Let's see, where is that? Oh, there it is. you can see. It's 1/4 of an inch wide, and then look at that. It's like really thin. This is why we made extra length on that. 0.135. Take this. 0.135. That's how wide that pin is going to be. Okay? And it's okay to make it just a tiny bit bigger. You know what? Let's make life easy. That's what we always try and do. Okay, take any old piece of paper and do your little marky-doos there. See that? Here, here, and lay that up on there. You know what, just for the heck of it, bring this up like that, right to the edge of the width of that line, okay? And then close one eye. That's what I'm doing. You can't see me doing that, but I'm closing one eye and then making that line on the outside of that. So this will come out slightly bigger than we need it. Okay. Line this edge to the outside edge of that line. Okay. And just make a few marks all the way around. Ooh, if you get glue on the outside of that, it's hard to make a pencil line on it. That's another handy trick that you want to learn. Okay, on the camera it looks like it may be off, but I have an exact match between those marks and that. And then this edge here is on the outside edge of that. Okay, we're going to keep this. Don't get rid of that. Okay, here we're going to do. Get the X-Acto knife out. Okay, and we're going to cut that thing off. Just take your time and cut it off correctly. It's like sawing. It's okay to leave a little bit more, just a little bit, because we could take it down later. If you cut it too small, then you got to start all over, and you know how we feel about rework. Okay, it's like I'm gonna have to add a little more glue. I thought there was glue all the way to the end of that. No big deal. We're getting there. But there we go. Okay, now, is there yeah, see that? Okay. Just a simple fix. Just a tiny dot of glue like that. There we go. Okay. That one isn't absolutely perfect. Now you're going to take this. If something comes out wrong, then we have enough material here to make a new pin. Okay, try and make sure that's square. Okay. Alright, now I'm going to take our measurement again. Now just repeat the same procedure. This is like following the dots. That's all we're doing here to give us a mark to go by. And like I said, it's better to have too much and not enough. Okay. I'm not looking at that, I'm looking at that line. This and that one, comparing that. Yeah, put another mark in there, one for the road. There we go. Alright. Do the same thing. Is there okay, that feels to be glued down all the way. That was just a fluke. Kind of just go down, don't try and cut it all at once. Just go around this and cut a little bit at a time until it pops off. That's how you could be accurate about this. Okay. Second time around. A little deeper. Yeah, if you use a saw on this thing, you're gonna tear that paper up, so you need to have a good sharp X-Acto knife. God. Okay, this thing you could save for later, for future. Okay, throw it in the drawer. Hopefully nothing happens to the ones I got. And now we're gonna square those off. Don't take too much material off. Okay, we're just cleaning it up. Boy, this is difficult. Okay, I'm looking at it like this and making sure it's not cockeyed. Okay, yes it is cockeyed a little bit. Which side? This is where you need some magnifying goggles. You could set this down and it's a little higher on that side than that side, so I gotta take some off of this side. Don't press too hard. That's pretty doggone close. Okay, now I'm going to clean this one up. Oh, I don't know if you can notice that. It kind of gets... The light outside is getting dim a little bit. That must mean there's some clouds covering the sun momentarily. There, it got brighter again. Let's see, how's this one? That one's better than the other one. Let's see, I need this side. Jeez Louise. Okay, tilt that up a little bit. Okay. Getting there. Just go fast, but don't press down too hard. Let the sandpaper do the work. There we go. Look at that. Aha. Okay, that one's a little taller than that one. Don't worry about that, because when we're all done assembling that, before we actually put on the next assembly. Okay, now you get your glue out, and you may know what I'm up to here. We're gonna fill both sides. Ooh, too much glue came out of this thing. There looks like to be enough glue on there. Okay. Put it down somewhere where it ain't gonna stick. That'll seal up the ends. And hopefully you can do this without gluing your fingers together. Okay, there's that. See how much glue? That was done correctly. It just kind of like blew out of there. That's what happens when the glue dries on the end of that. There we go, just a little bit. Get too much on there, you're gonna just make a mess. Roll it around on your fingers. Eyeball that thing to make sure it stays round. Oops, set it on the end like that so it won't glue to the table. Okay, I see a hole. Stay there. It's trying to get away, man. Now you're going to easily lose these parts. Okay, I'm just putting glue in that little pinhole that's in there. Is there one in that? Okay, that's good. There we go. If I can get it off my finger. Okay. Clean the top of that. Put the lid back on. And we are ready for the next step. Okay. Okay. Let's see if I could put these somewhere where I'm not going to lose them. God, if you bump into these things, they're going to like take off. Then you got to make a new one. Okay. All right. Now we're going to get this thing out. Leave the motor in. It'll be easier to work with because it won't bend or anything. Let's see what we got on the drawing here. I don't have a overall drawing, but there's our part right here. I don't know if you can see that. I gotta make a drawing of that, which I don't have. Okay, this is really important, the location of this. Okay, so from the top of that down to that will be 1 inch. There's a 1/4 inch there. We haven't cut that off yet. And then down to the center line of that, that'll be 1 inch. Okay, now please be real accurate about this. Okay, if you're not accurate about this and everything, the holes are not drilled in the right place and all that, you're gonna have a problem getting that bayonet thing to fit on there. Make sure it's square. Okay, do the one-eyed thing. Okay, and let's see, opposite side, like that. Okay, keeps getting darker out here. Looks like I already got one there, and it's not perfectly accurate. Ooh, I almost knocked those little pieces. Okay. Okay, use the down the center of that line. Okay. Now, how do we determine when that is the opposite of that side? You may have seen this trick before. Take your scrap paper. Okay. Okay, I made mine a little bit too wide. You don't have to go so wide and waste all that paper. Okay, you come around here. Make that tight on here. I'm going to wrap that around the thicker part here so it's much easier. Make sure it's square. Okay. Make sure it's square. Okay, so that's tight. Now what you're going to do is make a mark along here. Okay. And what you're going to do, you're going to fold this edge right up against that line there. Center of the line we drawn, you know, the usual routine. Okay. And that's what we have here. Okay, go ahead and fold it like that. Make it a sharp bend right there. Okay, and do this. I'm going to put a little lead on there, and there is the halfway point. Okay, now I'm going to put this back on there. Okay, got to get it tight. It's going to be a little trickier to get it tighter. Okay, so make sure that's square and it's down all the way. That edge of that paper should be right in the middle of that line. Okay, I'm lining that one up that's already there. Now, don't let the paper move. Tricky. And we got this one. Okay, now we have that. I'm going to move that over here, over there. Okay. All right, now, just for the heck of it, double check for that inch. Okay, I don't know how, but that's off a little bit. That's why we double check. It's always something that moves around and you're not aware of it. Okay, X marks the spot. Check this side. That's right on. Okay, now we're going to take the motor out. Push it out that end. Oh, my feet are falling asleep. Oh my God. Oh, that hurts. Get the blood back in there. Yeah, it's a big old cloud out there. Hopefully, that would be really cool. Get a thunderstorm. Let's see if I can position myself a little bit better here. Have to edit that out of the video. Okay, that might help. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna take your X-Acto knife. Here's a trick, okay? Put that exactly, okay, I mean exactly. When you hold that straight up, everything should look perfectly, okay? And just start don't know if you guys can see that or not. Let's see. Rotating that, okay? And manipulate it so it stays exactly on the crosshairs. Okay, it needs to go up a little bit because it'll move around. Okay, let's see what we got here. Just keep an eye on that. I gotta go up a little bit by just manipulating this. Okay, I'm making this big enough. That looks pretty doggone good. Okay. Okay. Let's see if I got it the whole bit big enough, okay? Oh, that's good. Okay, get to that drill. Okay, now look at it real close and just manipulate your cut to get that right on the crosshairs perfectly. Now we do this side. It's like a drill. No sound effects though. It's not plugged in. Doesn't cost you any batteries or electricity. And you already know what I'm doing here. I'm trying to manipulate that and keep it exactly in the crosshairs. Exactly in the center. Okay? You don't want to just put your drill on there because it'll move left or right or do all kinds of bad things. But this gives it a pilot hole. Okay? Looks good. Okay, you can see in there where the blade went through. Okay, now you take a 1/4 inch drill. Dang phone. Take the 1/4 inch drill and just slowly drill in there and then pull that off of there and make sure that that thing stays where it's supposed to. Even with the pilot hole, it'll want to move around a bit. Okay, looks good so far. Okay. A little bit time consuming. But try and now keep the drill straight up and down, not this way or that way or any way, but just right. And go straight down with it. You gotta be a little patient. Don't press too hard, let the drill do the work. That's why it's good to use a brand new sharp drill. And hopefully you don't cut your fingers when you're rolling this. I'm getting closer. If you get impatient, start pushing it down, you'll bend it all up. And if your fingers get tired, like mine are, you could switch your hands. When it starts, you can feel it's getting close, and it's going to go through. Put less pressure on it. Okay, there we go, it went through. And then give it a couple of twirls, keep that vertical, don't go like this like you do with wood. And you got the first hole. Next, it only took a few seconds to do that. Okay, make sure it's going down in the center of those crosshairs. If it's not, then, you know, push the pressure left, right, up, down, or whatever to keep it there. Okay, that looks really good. I think I'll turn this around. I don't like squeezing on the thin part of the paper. That's better. Now, we just simply repeat the procedure. Do-do-do. You can listen to the music in the background. Okay. I'm not going to double check the measurement because we have the holes there. It's kind of too late. But I already double checked them. Okay, let's see. I don't know if you can see that. Is my hand in the way? I don't know. It's getting closer, so I'm going to put less pressure on it. There it goes. See, I was right. Now, when it starts going through, hold back on this as you're rotating it. That'll help make a cleaner hole. Okay, blow that off of there or swing it around. Do anything you want. Okay. Okay, now you can take a piece of sandpaper. What is this, 320? Okay, kind of deburr that. Like that. Like that. Some of the crud is going to go back in there. So what you do is you take the back side of this drill and just push it in there. Like that. Like that. Okay. Okay, I'm going to show you something that happened here. You can see there was some paper there that didn't stick down from last week's build. No problem, man. Just put a dot of glue in there like that. Let's see, let's get it way down there because it's going to be cut off at that point. And then just glue it back down. Okay. Wipe all the excess off that you can get off of there. Okay. Now here's a tricky part. Let's see if we can get in there with that. I'm going to go through the other side and try and clean up excess paper from the other side. Like that. Okay. Okay. It's not going to be absolutely perfect. Okay, as you can see, I'm getting that in there. Okay. Okay, you can see the crud in there. That's going to be normal, but I removed as much of it as I could. Let's see if I can get more of it out of there. There's some in there. I'm going to push some of the paper back into the hole and then put that drill back on here. As you can see, deburring it farther. Okay, that helped. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Okay. Work this, you can take your time. I just hope the battery don't go dead on this thing anytime soon. Down to 35% on the battery, but I got an extra battery. Stupid batteries. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. It's not gonna be perfect right now, but just roll the sandpaper like that so it fits in there. I'm going to take off a little bit of the burr. You're not going to get all of it off, but when those things are all fully dry, the pins are fully dry, then we can get in there with some special little deal. Okay, that's a lot better than it was. Okay, now here's what we're going to do. I'm going to test fit one of those pins in there. Okay, it's too tight. Okay. Try and open that up a little bit more. So I'm pushing the drill pressure around like that as I'm doing that, and it removes some material. Okay, do that until this, you can get that in there. Okay, so that pin is a little bit big. That would be a good time to have a file. Try the other side. Okay, we know there's burrs around that thing. Okay, it's still too tight. Okay, I think we didn't. I didn't roll that thing up tight enough. Boy, make sure you don't make that thing move. The hole move left or right. Okay, I just thought of something else we could do. Okay, that's still too tight. Take a pencil, push it in there. Okay, and just go open it up a little bit with that. There we go. See, that fits in there. Let's do this side. Now, if you remember about how far you push that pencil in there, it is paper, so it's pretty flexible. It just moves. Okay, I should have did that in the first place. This is much easier. Oh, okay. A little farther. Okay. There we go. Okay. Now we're going to remove, while we can, the excess off the top of that. Okay, now here's something you got to do. Put the motor in there. At least far enough to where the motor is in there. Okay. Now here's the tricky part. I think we got to be a little bit fast on this. Okay. Boy. You know what? I'm going to put the glue on this. I don't want any glue on that motor. You know, and then, of course, you're not going to be able to help it. Yeah, you're going to get glue all over your fingers. Get glue all the way around in there. Kind of get it started. Okay, come on. We had that fitting in there before. Come on, get in there. Come on. Boy. I think I'll open up the other side. Okay, now it doesn't want to go back in there. Yeah, you can see all the problems that come up. Okay. Push that all the way down up against that motor in there. With the motor in there, you can really squeeze it tight. Okay. Just like that. Good. Now take this motor out so the glue won't stick on it. There's one. Okay. That should be okay. Yeah, it's flush in there. There's a little bit of extra stuff in there. Okay. Just a few seconds, maybe 20 seconds. Bing's other one, it opened up on there. Ooh, you know, it's not going to work. Let's see, do I have something else I can put in there? Yeah, see, the hole closed up a little bit. I'll find something else I can use. Okay. Here we go. Oh, you know what? That hole doesn't even feel like a 1/4 inch. It's just a 1/4 inch dowel. So, okay, let's see if it slides in there. It's a little tight. I think I'm going to go a little farther because it's going to want to kind of doing this around that way like that. That'll push the paper open. Okay. Can I get that in there? Boy, that's asking for it. Let's see. Yeah, when you do yours, you just saw what happened to me. You open that up, it fits, and then when you're going to actually glue the thing in there, it closes up on itself a little farther. You don't want to have that piece fit in there loose, but you don't want it so tight that you can't manipulate it. I think that'll be fine. Close that drawer back. Okay, it's going in there. Okay, so that should be dry enough now. Put the motor back in. I'm going to put the loose end in there first because obviously it's getting tight in there. Okay, don't put glue in the hole, then you'll glue the motor in there. So this is kind of like having to do it the hard way. Get your glue out. The glue bottle. Okay, try and get the glue just around. Don't get any glue on the bottom, otherwise it might stick to the motor. You're going around the bottom edge of that, you can see. All the way around. Leave no miss spots. Okay, here we go. Gonna put that in there like that. Get rid of the excess glue. Betcha I can just push that in there now. Yep. Okay. Pressing really hard down on that to make sure it went in there all the way. Okay, there's excess glue on there. Completely remove the excess glue. Hope I did that on the other side. Just take some paper and the sharp edge of it, go around there like that. Get rid of all that glue that's on that pin. Is there any on there? No. Okay, that one didn't have as much on there. Okay. Make sure it's down all the way. Okay. That one has it sticking out a little farther than the other one. That one's about there, but this one will need to be taken down a little bit, but you'll see us doing that next time. Okay. Okay. When that's dry enough, you could feel the bottom of the pins in there. Okay? So they're flush, you could see that, hopefully. Alright, when that's dry enough in there, you know what I mean, you could just put the motor back in there, it shouldn't stick. It'd be easier to do this next step here. Okay, so, I think, let's see, how far down, we gotta put this stop ring on there. Where is it? Okay, there it is. Okay, so we gotta go down a 1/2 inch from the pins. So that would be 1 1/4. Okay, from the top of this down to the bottom of that. Okay, so 1 1/4. Let's see how close that is. Okay. Maybe I'm going to go a little farther with that. Let's see. I want to make a 1/4 inch past the bottom of that pin there. Okay, like this. Okay, good. You got a mark there. Let's see what it actually is. One 3/8. Okay, so I'm going to come back over here. 3/8. 375 for future. Okay. Now, here's what we're going to do. Get just a piece of paper. Of course, the grain's going this way, so it wraps around that way. Oh, I don't like that at all. Got to take a straight edge and do that. Okay, there's a straight edge right there. So one side can be really ugly like this. Okay, there's a straight edge. And you already kind of know what I'm going to be doing here. Okay, like that. Take a little glue and just tack that down. Don't need hardly any glue on that. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Now, I'm going to slide that puppy up to that line we just made. Okay. And don't let that slip. And then we're going to draw a line all the way around that. Yeah, don't let it slip. Okay. And don't glue that on that tube either. It'll rip the heck out of it. Okay. All the way around. All the way around. Okay, just like that. There's our reference line. Okay, get rid of that, get rid of that. Ooh, get rid of that. And get our little thing here out. Let's see. There's the thickness to that paper, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to sand it thin. You can see that now, okay? Like that. Okay, we could take care of the other end. Okay, this is where we, right there. Okay, now do not glue this on this tube yet. We're just making this. I'm going to go the other way. Yeah, the good edge is going to be up against here. Okay. Make sure that's not loose on there, but we're going to start the wrap. Fairly tight on there. Right, now you get your glue out. We've all seen this before. Come on, here we go. Put a bead of glue down the end of that. Let's see, I got it started. And make this side up here flush. And never mind about what it looks like on the other side. Okay, I'm just keeping it flush all the way down. Let's see, where's the glue? There it is. Okay. Okay. if you let that piece there dry before we actually did this, it'd be kind of difficult. Okay, that's good. This edge will be all, you know, sanded down flush. Okay, just like that. Just give it a quick look and make sure it got glued down all the way around, which it did. Okay. I wish that would dry faster. This should be fairly snug when you slide that off of there. Okay. Alright, we can give that a little bit of a start. Now go this way, this way. Don't come back, it'll rip it up. Just gonna remove some of that paper off of there. Okay. That would have been better if the length of that would have came out to right here. So obviously that piece is a little too long, so we're gonna have a little bit of work to do. Now, let's see, find a piece of sandpaper, a bigger piece of sandpaper. Here we go, and do this. Got to do this on both sides. Not pressing very hard. Let the sandpaper try and do the work. Almost there. Rotate it so it won't be all lopsided. Okay, flip it over. Got more paper to remove on there. Let the sandpaper do the work. Don't press down very hard. Just carefully sanding the feathers off a bird. Okay, let's see, how's that? Look at that. Okay, it looks all the same all the way around that. Very good. Okay. Whew. Okay. All right. Not gonna worry about that right now. Okay, this is the best side. It looks the best. So we're gonna have this go on here like that. Get back on there. Might be a little lopsided, so it's gonna be harder to get on there. There we go. Okay, got the motor in there. Slide that on there like that. Get your glue. Get rid of that. Okay, and we're gonna just put a bead of glue on here. You've seen this on something else. Like that. Okay, now carefully push that up to that line and no farther. Make sure, okay, let's remove some of that glue right away so you can see what the heck we're doing here. Okay, now just go around there and look on that line. So it's good to get rid of the excess glue. Boy, it looks right on. Look at that. Okay, see a little bit there. Make up for some of the warpage. Got a few seconds here. Okay. All right. Look at that. Put your glue cap back on, and there's today's build. Okay, this should be not stuck in there. Okay. When this is all dry, we'll get in there and fix this a little bit better. Okay, there we go. There we go. How's that look? Pretty doggone good. All right, there we go. We got this made. Took a little longer than I thought it would, you know, but you know how things go. Pretty cool, huh? Got to work this over a little bit next time. But for now, you just set this puppy aside and let it dry. That way all these pins and all that stuff, it'll end up drying and it'll make this thing a lot harder. Okay? You can tell the glue is still soft around that. Alright. Pretty cool. Make sure the motor don't get stuck in there. Rocket engine don't get stuck in there. Okay. It's always good just to double check. Okay, I'm just going to leave it like that. Okay, now I'm going to set that guy aside and let that dry for next time. Okay, let's see. Anything else to yak about? My battery on the light stayed good. That's good. A few clouds out there blocking the sun, so if it starts looking a little funky in here, you know what happened. Okay, battery did go dead, but it happened to go dead at the right time, so you guys won't know the difference. Change the battery when I swap the view here. Let's see. Oh, let's move that down a little bit more. How's that? Yeah. All right. Okay, I don't think I have anything else to talk about. Yeah, next week, I think what we're going to do is clean this thing up and then build that other tube, the bayonet thing that goes on there. Hopefully it doesn't come out too long of a video, but then you'll have the piece that goes on there and clicks on there. Also, we're going to cut that off on here, which will be glued on the other part on the back. So when we take this off, that 1/4 of an inch will leave that engine sticking out a 1/4 of an inch so we can get it out of there. Yeah, pretty cool. We're getting there. It's like I said, this nozzle bayonet system for installing the rocket engine will take about as long to build as the whole rest of the rocket, probably, except for maybe that nose cone. But yeah, pretty good. Anyway, set that aside and let it completely harden up for next build. Next time. Well, if you're already looking at the next video because you were late watching this one, that's okay. Let that sit at least a day or so. Go off and do something else. Play your guitar or whatever else you want to do. Anyway, a little patience here, and then in the end, hopefully come out with something really cool looking. Anyway, you have a wonderful day. This is the Gadget Man 369. Over and out.